Nina Blackwood, Mark Goodman, Alan Hunter, and Martha Quinn are sharing their stories in a new book. It's called VJ, The Unplugged Adventures of MTV's First Wave.
God, what a long
Guys,
title.
good morning. Nice to see you. You're still kids. You're all still kids.
You're absolutely
How
right.
did that happen?
Right.
Who remembers the audition process? What was the job description for VJ?
Wow.
Well, I do. I was out in Los Angeles, and I read Billboard magazine, and there was an article looking for
Harp
DJs.
players, right?
Be quiet. Anyway, long story short, they came out, and we did auditions twice, and then they said, you have to move to New York. We want to hire you. And at the luncheon at Tavern on the Green, I inhaled a piece of bread.
Okay, this is taking me in a direction I didn't expect.
See?
That's okay.
And
You never thought the Heimlich would come into it.
The Heimlich method was done on me, and I agreed to take
And the rest
job.
is history. When it went on the air back in 1981, did you immediately know it was going to change things forever?
I knew it would change my life forever because I was working at a dorm. I was working at Weinstein Dormitory. And I was like, what should I do? Continue to dispense toilet paper and light bulbs or work for this full-time job? So I thought it was a good bargain, a good gamble.
Mark or Alan, what was the video, in your opinion, that absolutely changed the game forever?
The first one, the Buggles video.
You really think that was the one?
I know what Mark is going to say. I think you're going to say Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer, I think, is one of the greatest videos of all time. So is Hot for Teacher. But Game Changer, it's Michael Jackson.
Thriller.
It has to be
It was
Michael
Thriller?
Jackson's Thriller.
It was
It's the most
Billie
money.
Jean, the first one that we had. Billie
Should've-
Jean, and then
right.
Beat It.
They wanted Beat It first.
Then Beat It. And then the
We
big
got Billie
premiere
Jean first.
of Thriller was, the first 11-minute video.
You guys were huge stars, and it didn't take long. You became instant stars. We hear sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Did you take part in the whole lifestyle that the artists you were covering took part in?
Absolutely. You got to read the book, Matt. You got to read the book.
Did you?
I think page 1 is all about that.
So you were involved with the sex,
we had
drugs,
to have
and rock and
first-hand
roll?
knowledge. We had to have experience.
It was
We were
research?
enmeshed. Look, if we're talking to the rockers, we had to know what they were getting into.
What was dating the rock stars also a part of it? Raise your hand if you ever dated one of the artists.
It's easier for girls in rock and roll to date guys in rock and roll than guys to date girls. So.
But the fact is,
we were
I
married.
didn't. Yeah.
That was a problem,
Like
right?
that.
Martha, did you ever date any of the stars that were putting the videos out?
Let's see.
You didn't tell them.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you mention who?
Sure. I guess I should mention.
Come on.
Steve Bader, who from the Lord's the New Church, who introduced me to my husband. So
my
that
God.
worked out so
Nice way to move that in there also, to get back to
Love
the
you,
husband
Jordan.
thing as well.
Love you, buddy.
Let me come up with a couple of names, and you guys just say the first thing that comes to your mind, all right? Frank Zappa.
Oh, God.
What happened? Why?
He was just very condescending to me, and it was one of my first interviews, and I didn't know how to handle it. It was very bad casting, and when the wrong person is put in
Bad chemistry.
Yeah.
I'll mention a couple of other names. Just throw it out here. Cyndi Lauper.
Huge talent and made a mistake with the wrestling thing.
Oh, yeah.
Left-hand turn that she shouldn't have taken.
David Lee Roth.
To me, David Lee Roth, wouldn't you guys say he sums up the 80s completely? His over-the-top personality. Everything about the 80s. The Texas of decades. The hair was bigger, shoulders wider, and the spandex was tighter.
And Michael Jackson.
Wow. Game
That's
changer.
the game changer.
And
That's
tragic.
the game changer.
You
Paradigm
said
shift.
recently, Mark, that the VJJs were wonderful and terrible. A wonderful, terrible experience. If someone called you today, you knew nothing about it, but would you do it again?
With these
Absolutely.
guys.
Yeah?
Yes.
These
Yes.
guys.
It's better to be the first. I didn't want to be the second VJ. We wrote the handbook such as it was. They promptly threw it out after we left. But
Yeah, I would only do it in the same situation if it
And
was exactly
like,
the
at
same.
that time, it was like being at the center of the universe. So why would we say no to that? Whatever the next thing is.
Makes perfect sense.
The
Guys?
greatest thing about MTV is that it introduced us to each other,
right.
and we're so happy that we can continue down the road of life, all of us together.
if we hadn't done it, we wouldn't be sitting here with you.
Yeah, well,
This Monday.
and by the way, thoughts to JJ as well.
Exactly.
Guys,
Thanks
great
for
to have
having
you
you.
here. We
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.